everybody, welcome back to my another video. So how's life going? Hope it's going smoothly. I'm also over the moon today. Yesterday was Happy New Year and I wish all of you a very happy New Year. And I hope in this year we all will try to improve and gain more knowledge about the world in this year. And welcome to 2025. Please try to improve yourself and I'm trying my best to gain more knowledge and share with you all. So, in this video, we're going to talk something about geography and we're going to talk about the British Empire. Well, most of you know what the British Empire is. You have studied in schools and you have known it by the help of Google in-house. But I want to explain the whole thing and make it easier for you so you can gain more knowledge. So, without delay, let's get started. So, the largest empire the world has ever seen was the British Empire. Began in 60s as merchants set up trading colonies on the east coast of America. More colonies were established in the Caribbean, Indian, and after 1770, Australia and Africa. By 1920, the British Empire had reached its greatest extent. It grew through military conquest and the need for British industry to acquire raw materials. But such a large empire was too large to last. And by the end of the 20th century, the British Empire has almost gave all the colonies its independence. So now I'm going to talk about the very first colony that British have established in Jamestown. Well, it was about the time in 1607 when the Britain set up the first permanent overseas colony at the Jamestown, Virginia, which is on the east coast of North America. The settlement was named after King James I and consisted of log cabins surrounded by a protective wooden fence. So many of you have heard the word Raj, but today I'm gonna explain the whole thing about the Raj. What's Raj? So in 60s, English merchants set up the East Indian Company in India, and it soon controlled large parts of India. So following the Indian Mutiny in 1857, the British government took over by 1886. So British controlled the whole Indian subcontinent, consists of India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. For the Victorian, India was the jewel in the crown. It was for a reason, and British rule was known as the Raj. Raj after the Hindu word meaning reign. So one more thing about the India history was the Indian Mutiny. In 1857, a mutiny broke out among Indian troops who feared they might be converted to Christianity and suspected their gun cartridges were greased with pig fat, which was forbidden for Muslims, and cow fat, which was forbidden for Hindus. The Britain put down the mutiny and took steps to reform the Indian government and army. Now I'm going to talk about the colony that's British established in Australia. The first colonists in Australia were British convicts sent out from 1788 to serve their sentences. Later arrival included Irish people fleeing famine and others seeking a new life in the wide open spaces of Australia. In 1901, the 6 separate colonies in Australia were joined together as a single country. So, British had many of famous missionaries. Now I'm going to talk about the British missionaries. So, as the empire expanded, British Christian missionaries set up to convert to the local people. And they set up schools and hospitals and did much to bind the different parts of the empire together through Christianity and British way of life. One of the most famous missionaries was the Scotsman David Livingstone. In 1841, he arrived in Cape Town. By the time of his death in 1973, he had explored most of the parts of Africa. Now I'm going to talk about the World War I. Well, most of the people know that World War II was held like 1945, and now I'm going to talk about the World War I. When did it happen? It was the most tragic history of the world. So, in 1914 was broke out between British and Germany. World War I was involved 2.8 million troops from all over the empire, and India troops fought on the Western Front. And I just shared about the British. If you want to know more about the World War I, you can comment. Soon the British Empire started to give independence to most of its colonies, and the first country to gain independence was the White Dominions of Canada, which was at 1867. Then the Australia, which was 1971, and New Zealand, which was like 1907. So non-white countries followed as well. The Indian subcontinent became independent in 1947 to 48, and Ghana and Malaya left the empire in 1957. Like this, the decolonization continued. Now I'm going to talk about the last part, which is about the Commonwealth. So most of the people know about the Commonwealth, which is in British, and in 1931, more than 50 newly independent British colonies joined what is known as the British Commonwealth. The British Queen Elizabeth II is its head, even though most members of republics have their own monarchies. And now British Queen Elizabeth is not in this world, and her son Charles III is the head of the British Commonwealth right now. So thank you all for listening to me till the end. I hope you have knew about something new about the British Empire by watching my video, and I'll be sending more videos like that. So till then, take care.